Welcome back, guys, to another episode. This is episode 4. We are the SNL podcast, and today we have something good for you, something I believe should be an interesting point of conversation. And we'll try to do our parts to make it as lively as possible. So, Michelle, kindly please tell us what we're going to talk about today.
So today's topic will be about relationships, but before we get into that, I'd like us to introduce ourselves. We have a fresh face who's never been here before, and another that was here and then wasn't there for a while. So I'd like them to introduce themselves. Toria.
My name is Toria Kiama. I love the Lord.
My name is Paulette Mugo, a member of the SNL youth group. Yes.
Okay, so we want to talk about relationships in many different ways, but more so from a Christian perspective. Hopefully, we'll be able to tackle a couple of topics that are near and dear to our hearts, so maybe just a bit confusing, and get clarity on some of them. But first, we're going to start with a fun little game of marry, date, kill. So the rules of the game are you get 3 names and you have to choose who you would marry, who you would date, and who you would kill from the list of 3, okay? So we will start with the guys. Marry, date, or kill between Eve, Delilah, and Jezebel. Kabu?
Eve, Delilah, Jezebel.
Yes. Who would you marry, date, or kill?
Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to say I can fix Jezebel. So, kill Jezebel. That's just standard. Eve, Jezebel, who was the third one?
And Delilah.
Delilah. Date Delilah. Yeah. Oh God, this is a hard one.
Marry Eve.
Because also Eve is the reason. Well,
The reason you go to school.
she's the reason where we are, to be honest. So that kind of stress is not conducive. But if I had to pick, I'd probably marry Eve, kill Jezebel, and then date Delilah. That's my pick. Yeah.
Toria?
I'd kill Eve. I feel like my life is so hard because of Eve. Yeah. Then I'd date.
Delilah or Jezebel?
I can't marry Jezebel. She's a witch. I'd date Jezebel, and then I'd have to marry. No, I can't.
You can't marry.
Toxicity. That's what you
I
said.
can't. Yeah, I can't marry.
You can't marry. No, you have to choose one.
Delilah. Yeah,
Marry Delilah, kill Eve, date
Yeah.
Jezebel.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for us. David, Samson, Solomon.
Slaughter Solomon. Very much so. That's the harlot is. We are slaughtering.
David, Samson.
David Samson. Oh my goodness. Date David, marry Samson.
Okay, okay, cool. I think I would. I was gonna say marry David, then I remembered he cheated on his wife. So I'm like, date David. I think I agree with you. Date David, marry Samson, because Samson was true to Delilah. She's the
Very
one who
much
played
so.
him. Yeah.
Exactly.
All the babes Samson.
That's a
did,
real ass.
he was good
That's
to
a very
them.
real
They're the
man.
ones who knew. And then Solomon just. I wouldn't want to. He was a harlot, yes, but he was a wise man. You know, he wasn't all bad.
1,000 wives.
He wasn't all bad.
1,000.
That's crazy.
Why would you?
I can't.
Whoa!
This Nairobi, is that not a sickness? Is that not a sickness?
But I'd have to kill Solomon because, those are my options. Okay, then. So on to today's questions. The first one would be, at what age do you think people should start dating?
Okay, I feel like you should get your heart broken before you're 25. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If you're going into 30 and people and you find men are lying to you, hey, you will suffer in this life. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
but also Nah, let me not be that person. Go on. Nah. My time.
Get your heart broken before 25.
Okay.
But
Before
don't
25.
get into something so serious. In your 20s, you should be not really testing the waters, but like exploring what you like as a person and like working on yourself as well. And then as you like, just dating in a very loose and fluid manner, not to be so serious. And then as you go deeper into it, your 30s and everything, and you figured life out and you have yourself together, that's when you can now start being serious. But like, don't take relationships seriously, but like, you should have that one teenage heartbreak that has shown you a bit of shege, so that so that at least you have you won't get hurt when you're much older and it will hit you so much harder. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, Tori?
I sound like 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 15, 16, yeah.
Okay.
Because like there's some things you need to learn before you get married, and I feel like dating at a young age is where you learn certain lessons, and then also like I don't know, it just feels right.
Yeah. Okay, 15.
No too late,
15,
not too early.
16.
Yeah.
Tutu?
What was the question again? Just remind me.
The best age to start dating.
Best age to start dating. Honestly, I can't tell you. I can speak for myself though.
So,
I started dating when I was, I wouldn't say dating, but like the first.
Trisex relationship.
Oh, Tutu and so are dating.
Eh.
I was in class. Listen, I was in class 3. Mtoto wa class 3 ako na miaka ngapi?
Maybe
9.
Yeah.
9.
And my mom knew as well. She loved it. Let me tell you.
No way.
Anytime
But that is a
we'd
kid's
Yeah,
get
it
home, she'd
is,
ask me
It's just like
about her.
it's just a very deep friendship.
No, I like this girl. Listen, her name is Brenda. I don't know where Brenda is. Brenda, hope you're doing well. But yeah, I was 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
it
think
was
the
just-
best age is 9?
No, I said I can't speak for anyone. Do I have to?
So basically, you don't have a specific. You don't think there is a particular age where
No.
you should.
No.
Just
But
wherever
I feel
it
like you
finds
can't
you
start at
start.
whichever age, but when you start when you're like uko mzee, you will, because you don't know how people work, the manipulative tactics, everything that these Nairobi men have out here.
Hey, Nairobi man. This is the second time you say Nairobi man. Kuna story hapa.
Same. You don't know how these things work because lazima utaumiza, lazima.
But you learn
Genuinely,
from
most of the
your
time-
other friends.
Most of the
That's
time,
possible.
no. It
No,
happens.
okay.
I think for me,
It's just good to have that
it depends on
experience.
how early you understand those feelings. Because to me, I was 9 knowing I like girls. Yeah, and it was innocent. I was just a 9-year-old. I saw this girl. in
Liked
my
her
class.
exclusively.
But then you see,
I mean, in
Like
my
you
class.
knew the concept of that.
No, I just knew I liked her.
and so she was your
And
girlfriend.
yeah,
Okay,
and she was my lady. And she had said, yeah.
that's so cute. So, I think the right age to start dating. I think it will define in the next question, but it depends on what kind of dating we're talking about. There's this one for what you said, like get your teenage manenos
I
dealt
think we'll
with.
go into definitions
know.
in this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitions.
But I think for me, ideally, and we'll understand as time goes by, ideal time to start dating is now 23, 24.
Hey, bana.
Honestly.
Hey.
Where you're so you're speaking like our parents.
No, you should.
Maliza shule kwanza.
No, I will explain.
Those parents were married by like
Okay, let's
Maliza
define
shule
dating.
kwanza. Okay, there's dating, there's situationships,
Uh-huh.
and there's exclusively dating, and there's also courting. So
Dating exclusively. Dating
dating, there's dating around. Dating around is when you're searching and you're talking to. Dating is now talking, just talking stages
like a
or
talking
whatever.
stages,
Yeah, or like you're going, okay, no, kuna talking stage, kuna dating, kuna situationship, na kuna exclusively dating. So, dating,
Situationship is after dating.
no, they're
Oh,
not
it's
in
not
any
like-
order.
oh,
Situationship.
yeah.
So dating or talking is when now you go out on dates, you meet and you like have fun together just to get to know each other, and you can do this with more than one person. That's dating in general. Then talking stage, I don't know. Okay, talking stage are really complicated
talking stage.
because talking stage may feel like nile too. maybe most of the time it happens on the phone, and you're like, you can be in a talking stage and dating at the same time. So that talking stage is like just like getting to know each other, what's your favorite color, blah 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 blah. All those things are talking stage. And exclusively dating is when you're now exclusive with this person. Let me just use that word. And you're only you're in an actual relationship with them. And then obviously a situationship is where you don't know whether you're dating, or you don't know whether you're just having fun, or the lines have not been drawn. There's no definition. So that's how Nairobi for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the circle. That's the modern circle.
Yeah.
And that's this city.
That's true.
In general.
Okay. So now that we have the definitions, let me explain myself. When I say you should start dating code 23, 24, it's
Which
because
type of dating?
the exclusive dating.
I understand that one, yeah.
Yeah. So the going out on dates, getting to know people, kakakaka,
Yeah.
that you can do, okay? Like, get to know people. But exclusively dating, this is my person, I
at
like
below
you,
that age,
and we're
yeah.
gonna stay together maybe 6 months, 1 year, 1.5, 2 years.
You can do it when you're young. Like some people make it work.
They
No,
do.
some people can make it work, and it actually becomes this beautiful
That's
big
the
thing. I
standard
think it can happen, but you're putting yourself at a big risk.
The reason I say that
Yeah.
is because when you're younger, and no shade to young people, I'm not saying, but there are some red flags that you get better at identifying red flags, and you take them more seriously the older you are.
True.
So there are things that people put up with in their early 20s that they really have no business putting up with, but they are so convicted that
But like I said, get your heart broken
love
before
this person,
25.
kakaka.
Yeah.
But no, you see, I feel like there are levels to heartbreak. You can date. Samanga love is blind. I really don't think so. I think you can date.
I would one person. I'm telling you.
It is.
It's, I think, but see, if you don't, okay, they use the phrase fall in love, and to me that is infatuation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no love.
You fall into infatuation,
Yeah.
and that happens, and that's what leads people to
Green
getting
flag.
this horrible heartbreak, borderline depression because a boy left you, because you thought that this is my world, the stars, the moon, and the sun all wrapped up into one. Is this person?
But you need to go
and
through
now
that
they're gone.
stage, and
No.
then you get over it.
I think
When you go through
You
that,
feel like-
it makes it
Yeah. I
jeopardizes
feel like
you.
when you get hurt in the future, you're like,
No,
unaiwachilia too, because you've already been through that.
No.
It's not a must, I get it, but like it's sometimes for some people the way the dating world is structured these days, I feel like a little bit of heartbreak can help you
can
through
help
feel like-
you
through
in
things.
I feel like when you get heartbroken, it jeopardizes how you are in a relationship because number one, the key component in dating is trust, right? When you get heartbroken, trust is broken, and it's really really hard to rebuild, yeah. And so you assuming or saying that someone should first go through heartbreak in order to learn some lessons is or that one hard or heartful experience is I disagree to it because that one messes up many
the
a
one
lot
that
more
comes after.
yeah until you mature to a point where you go back and accept to and like go back to default to before you were hurt and you're then able to keep something serious and long term. Yeah, it's like
if you
initially for you to make something last you have to go back default, so after a heartbreak and everything the pressure out and then go back to reset, then can you make something last? Well, without the heartbreak you could just
you
then
can,
you'd be
but
naive.
Lile too,
You'll be naive and you won't know what to expect.
but you have to make the mistakes for yourself for you to learn. You can't learn from other people's mistakes. You
Yeah.
just watch and see that so and so did this and it blundered. So and so they did this, and ideally that's what we should be doing.
Ideally.
That we should be learning from other people's mistakes, even the previous generation's mistakes
I
and
think
things
it's-
like
it's
But
that.
that's why you should not be
Idealistic.
exclusively dating until you're
Until
of a
you are-
certain.
Yeah.
Until you go you then you can actually think a bit straight.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can date year 2 year for fun.
Yeah.
Dating for fun.
no,
Okay.
that's a waste of time.
Dating
Okay,
for fun.
dating
But
for
it
fun.
depends.
How do you feel
Some
about
people
that?
make exclusive dating at a young age work. They genuinely do, and some people are for relationships. Kuna watu, they just love our girls and love our boys, and they love, and it works for them, and you know, it does not really deter. Actually, most relationships don't end too badly usually. Yeah,
Okay,
as
and
in by
disclaimer:
Not all.
it's not.
It's
You're
not
not laying down a
statistically-
rule that
yeah.
you shouldn't date before this. With love and relationships, there's no stencil.
It's so complicated.
This is the formula that
It's
works.
very
It's different for
complicated.
different people. This is just like
Yeah.
our opinions. Now we've defined dating. What's the point of dating? Why date? So that we've said there's dating for fun, there's dating exclusively. What's the point of it all? Why do it in the first place?
May I first say something? I feel like uh, dating for fun is such a
Waste of time.
waste of time because initially
I mean, exclusively dating.
it's not
Exclusively dating.
usually dating for fun. It's not usually two-sided. You'd find one falls in hard because remember, feelings are not something you can
Put on a
control.
shelf and-
Exactly. So then it ends up leading to one person being hurt initially, and then also if you're dating for fun, you know, dating just serious or not takes investment, whether it's time or tot. These are things that you invest into something that doesn't give you, you know, product. So I feel like if you're genuinely dating for fun, then I don't know. You guys need
You're
to
just
know.
wasting your time.
So why do people date then?
What?
Why do people
Back to
date?
what you asked, why do
what
people
is the
date?
purpose
Sure.
of dating in your opinion?
Or
What's the point?
marriage.
Marriage.
Marriage, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Polly?
I think I feel like I'm trying to digest what he just said, but I feel like dating for fun is dating to, like, I don't know, kind of know your dislikes and likes, and to explore. I feel like dating now, you're dating more than one person, and you're in this with this person, this person, and this person, and it's like mature people should. Some people are not able to handle you being with another person or whatever, but I feel like there's some sense of maturity in, like, you know, like being able to see more than one person and be like, okay, this one has this one has this, this one has this, and then I don't know, you narrow it down. That's how, like, things are these days, you know.
That's why.
And that's something. It's a very bad. It's okay, not bad, but it's a very interesting way. And you're like, when do we settle? Like, when do we narrow it down? And you know, eventually, I feel like I would date for exclusivity, not really marriage, but exclusivity and longevity, to see where things will go eventually. Like, even right now, if I were to do something serious, it would be to see where it would go eventually. So yeah.
But before you say people,
Why do people date? I've never thought about this actually. I've always known it's something that people do, you know. But first of all, I think dating is a very modern concept because before dating was a thing, it was, one family has seen a girl from another family, and then you're brought together, and then boom, marriage, responsibilities. So, which isn't the case anymore. So I think dating for me would ideally should symbolize emotional security.
okay.
You have that one person you can talk to about anything, you know. They make you feel good. It's like I hate this word. It's like a safe space. Ideally, I understand that isn't always the case, but I think emotional security is probably the biggest reason why. And then of course there's now the liberty of getting to choose your own person and just understanding who they are as a person, what they like, what they dislike, what you like about them, what you can tolerate about them. So it kind of buys you time before you make things official. But for me, I think the biggest thing is emotional security.
Emotional security.
Yeah.
Do you think people need to go through all that, like going through so many people? Is it a must? Ama, you can always date one person exclusively and just be fine with it, instead of like searching at you're talking to
Yeah.
this one and this one and this one and this one. Is there relevance to that? I feel like each person has a different side. Like what works for you will work for you. There's people who they can talk to many people and they're fine, and there's people who they can only talk to one person and they're already in love. Like, so these days it's so tricky because everybody kind of wants to be around a lot.
I think be true to yourself, because the people who advocate, in my opinion, who advocate for I understand dating around, you're getting to know people from the perspective of just exposing yourself to more experiences. Because if, let's say, this is the only church I've ever been to, and apart from church, I only go to school, like my social life is limited to church and school, right? Then my dating pool is also limited to church and school because those are the only people I ever meet. So I would recommend expanding your social experience and getting to know different kinds of people so that you can find what truly works for you. Because maybe what works for me is not in either of these two spaces, but I wouldn't know because I've never been beyond these walls. But in terms of dating in terms of long-term dating, I don't think you have to really try. I don't think it's a necessity.
When you find that one person, you make it work.
But yeah, when someone
When you
is
find one person, you make it work. Yeah.
I feel like the whole thing of like trying to date multiple people to see which one's for you, I feel like number one, and then you said it comes down to you. I feel like just because, you know, if something works for you doesn't make that thing right. Because remember, you talking and becoming intimately close with multiple people as you're supposed to be with your boyfriend or girlfriend, it may not be polygamy, because polygamy is marrying more than one person, but it's training in polygamy because it becomes a habit. It becomes you're used to multiple, and to reach a point where it will need to be one. And so I feel like when you do that, you're
making it
creating
harder
a
for
habit. Yeah, and that, for example, you don't practice to be a husband or wife married. Yeah, you practice before you're married. Because if you're waiting for marriage to be a husband or a wife, then when the time comes, you will not be able to become a husband or a wife because you've already trained yourself in whatever you're doing before, and that's not going to end in your wedding day. So if you are looking around, you're like 5 people, and like you're just trying to see which one's the best pick. Remember, you're also creating emotional bonds between these people, and that's why our generation is so messed up, because we have people like that, people who think it's fine, you know, that works for me, and you know, I'm good with it, I'm working with it. But you see, in the long term, yeah, it doesn't affect you, no, it affects you 10 years later.
Okay.
And that's why you see the rates in divorce are not the same as our grandparents' generation in comparison to this generation.
That's
No, I'm just saying it becomes worse.